Papaya, papaya. You guys can hear the music, right? Hi, gamers. How are you today? I'm sorry. I keep being super late. I don't mean it. Ugh. I think not PTSD, but definitely something switches in my brain with math. That's okay. Here, you know what? Okay. Thank you, guys. TBH, honest, I was never very good in school. And so it's not like the right platform for me to learn anything, I guess. I'm much better at learning on my own. So obviously, this is an introduction to vector math. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Because I have like the math anxiety, if that's a thing. But I need to know it. I need to know it if I want to make video games in 3D. So I will do my best. Hi, Shadowwave! Cute, I'm abroad and using my limited eSIM data to watch because vector math is more important than Google Maps. You're so right! I appreciate your sacrifice. I hope you're having fun abroad. Yeah, the math anxiety. Yeah. So, I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? It was something about... It was something... Oh, yeah! So, check the pinned comment, please. We are doing the VTuber SummerSlam! Here, hold on. I'm gonna open it up over here. One sec. SummerSlam. And I know I don't have that much time for today. But I would really like to be able to contribute to this campaign. The VTuber SummerSlam! Today is the last day. And it benefits Gamers Outreach, which is always the charity that we work with on this channel. Ooh, I kind of want this sweater. I might get this sweater. But yeah, this all proceeds go to the VTuber SummerSlam campaign for Gamers Outreach. And oh, so cute! Wow! Art contest. Stay cool, have fun. So we'll try to do some learning. Some math. We'll try to stay cool. And we'll try to have fun. But I definitely know exactly what you mean about the math anxiety. Happy Q Day! Yeah, I was having kind of like the start of a migraine actually earlier, and now I have drank 4 shots of espresso and feel like my brain is vibrating a little bit. But at least that's not the migraine feeling. Stay cool so we can wear a sweater. I think I said this before. I'm always cold. So, you know. So what does the outreach do? Good question. Let me see if I can find their mission. They are a charity that empowers hospitalized children through video games. We're building a world where play is easily prioritized alongside research and treatment. Basically, kids who are hospitalized are going through something really hard and probably traumatic. And so Gamers Outreach raises funds to make sure that kids who are hospitalized have access to play video games with their friends, make new friends. And so they try to make something that's a really hard time into something that has good memories attached to it. It'd be cold in the clouds. You're so right. That's freaking sweet! I'm sold! Yeah! Oh no, this queue is gonna explode. I'll try not to. So yeah, in the pinned comment, there's a link to our charity campaign. It should update the little interface whenever anybody donates. And you know what? Here, I will open up the campaign if I can. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. One sec. How do I just see the... I just want to see the campaign. I'm trying to see if I can just pull it up and look at the campaign. It is under Mr. I Can Play's name. Oh. Yeah, this one. Alright, let me open it up over here. So this is what we have so far. No cookies. This is the campaign. We have $30. We'd like to get to 500 if we can. Maybe later I can stream something with Mr. I Can Play again too. Maybe we'll do more peak. That was really funny. Hi, yes up. How about you? I'm okay. My brain is going fast because I took a lot of espresso because I was trying to get rid of a migraine. And also we're trying to do math. So I'll do my best. Okay. So I have this right here. I have a MS Paint. We have a MS Paint for me to take notes if I need to. But I'm gonna try to learn vector math. Alright, so I'm just gonna read it, okay? It's a short and practical introduction to linear algebra as it applies to game development. Linear algebra is a study of vectors and their uses. Vectors have many applications in both 2D and 3D development, and Godot uses them extensively. Developing a good understanding of vector math is essential to becoming a strong game developer. I would like to be a strong game developer, lady. It is not a formal textbook on linear algebra. We'll only be looking at how it is applied to game development. That's how I learn the best. I don't learn that good when it's something abstract, you know. So if I look at it in the context of the thing I need to use it for, I learn it a lot better. For a better look at the mathematics, Khan Academy. So we can go there later. I don't know if I need to. No, thank you. You know, if I need some supplementary things. I'm not here. Okay, I do not perceive you. Alright, coordinate systems. Hi, Dewey! Welcome! Oh, what are you guys doing? No perception! What were you? More PTSD. Welcome, everybody! Thank you for following. Yeah, today is the last day for this, the Gamers Outreach VTuber SummerSlam. You were yapping? Same. I'll try to do math while I yap. Today's the last day for the VTuber SummerSlam. We have a pinned comment that links to the donation page for our campaign. This is our campaign. Oh, somebody donated! Okay, I'm so sorry. Let me figure out where I can see that. It doesn't seem like it updated for me. I will get it. Don't you worry. Let me, I'll just open this here. Thank you, Josh, for donating to the children. I appreciate it very much. Okay, let me go back here. Yapping and mathing. Burrow, you are up to something. Sus! We had to play the peak sometime. That was really funny. So we're trying to raise some money for Gamers Outreach. The link to donate is pinned, and for some reason I don't hear the audio. So let me see if there's some way Did I? Maybe on here. Game chat. Properties. Monitor and output. Alright, so maybe that will help. I'll try to make sure I get the donations when they come in. Hi Louise! How's it going? So yeah, please donate if you are able to. I really appreciate it very, very much. It's for the children. Yeah, I want to play peek! Alright. Math. Alright, so coordinate systems in 2D. 2D space, coordinates are defined using horizontal axis, x, a vertical axis, y. Yes. Particular position in 2D space is written as a pair of values such as 4, 3. Yep. We are familiar, right? I gotta look for good luck on the charity and Godot stream! Thank you for raiding! Here, let me make sure I give you a follow before I forget. There we go. Alright. If you're new to computer graphics, oh yeah, this is true. It may seem odd that the positive y-axis points downwards instead of upwards. That's true. In math class, you learn it going positive, going up. This is common in most computer graphics applications. Okay, so positive is down. I think that makes sense. Hi Grace! Godot stream! We are doing our best. I mean, technically, I don't even really... Math. It's gotta mean something. I think that makes sense, because if you think about it in 3D, you have like the origin point, and going upwards is like going negative, because you're at 0. I think that makes sense. Any position in a 2D plane can be identified by a pair of numbers in this way. However, we can also think of the position as an offset from the 0, 0 point or origin. That's what I said! Draw an arrow pointing from the origin to the point. Yes. Makes sense. This is a vector. Okay, so the vector is the distance from the origin as a straight line. What could it mean if only there was a way for us to decipher? We'll never know. This is vector. A vector represents a lot of useful information, as well as telling us that the point is at 4, 3. We can also think of it as an angle, theta. Ooh! And a length, or magnitude, m. In this case, the arrow is a position vector. It denotes a position in space relative to the origin. So this is just in 2D. A very important point to consider about vectors is that they only represent relative direction and magnitude. There is no concept of a vector's position. The following two vectors are identical. Right. Both vectors represent a point 4 units to the right and 3 units below some starting point. Does not matter where on the plane you draw the vector. It always represents a relative direction and magnitude. So you can start from anywhere. And these are still the same. Makes sense. Ugh, theta. We learning shapes? Kind of. I'm just going through the vector math docs that are on Godot's site. Hi, Rage! Is that why Vector was who he was in Despicable Me? It's a pretty good bad guy name, don't you think? Size and magnitude! Out here thinking about them vectors. Yeah. 3D shapes? I have no idea. This is only 2D. I'm good! How are you? Vector! Oh yeah! Alright, so vector operations. You can use either method. X and Y coordinates or angle and magnitude to refer to a vector. But for convenience, programmers typically use the coordinate notation. Yeah, I think I've seen that the most. For example, in Godot, the origin is the top left corner of the screen. So to place a 2D node, named Node 2D, 400 pixels to the right and 300 pixels down, you use the following code. Boop. Yep, we're only doing vector 2 right now. Just thinking about them beans, just like Pop Leo. Godot supports both Vector 2 and Vector 3 for 2D and 3D usage, respectively. Makes sense, right? The same mathematical rules discussed in the article apply to both types. And wherever we link to Vector 2 methods in the class reference, you can also check out the Vector 3 counterparts. It's just another dimension. Vector 2, if you learn about it, you just add one more dimension and it's the same. Poplio is the #1 starter. Eating them colorful beans. Why does Godot operate in quadrant 4? What? The individual components of the vector can be accessed directly by name. Yes. You can access X and Y and set them. Yes, I see. A vector, B individually set them. So you can instantiate it or create it and then set them later. Vector math sauce. Cloud vented causes no! Adding vectors. When adding or subtracting two vectors, the corresponding components are added. Yes, I see. So C equals A plus B, where A is a vector 2, 5, B is a vector 3, 1. You end up with C as a vector of 5, 6. So it adds the x's together, and then it adds the y's together. You can also see this visually by adding the second vector at the end of the first. Yes. So we have A right here. We have adding B, and that gets us right here to 5, 6. This is B, I think. Yeah. Makes sense, right? Maybe I don't need to draw anything. It's already drawn. See, that's quadrant 4 on the graph. Quadrant 4. I don't know what you are talking about. Why it like that? Quadrant 4? Do you mean like the y is going down? Note that adding A plus B gives the same result as B plus A. Makes sense. Hi, this box! Y going down. Oh, I gotcha. 'Cause in computer graphics, it seems that this is just the way that it always is. So Y going down is positive. And I think if you think about it on a 3D plane, it makes more sense. So if you act like this is the origin, 0, 0, going up from there is negative. Like you're negative to go up, positive to go down further. No, makes sense. But me here. That's okay. As long as you're here for moral support, that's okay. This is good to calculate when multiple forces are being applied from different directions. Yeah. 2 plus 2 is 5! Alright. Scalar multiplication. Vectors represent both direction and magnitude. A value representing only magnitude is called a scalar. Scalars are floats in Godot. Okay? Vector can be multiplied by a scalar. Okay, makes sense. So if you have this vector of 2, 5, if you multiply that vector by 2, everything in it gets multiplied by 2. So 2 times 2, 4. 5 times 2, 10. So then you end up... Makes sense, you're scaling it. Scalar. Just think of it as computers starting calculations from the top left of your monitor. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it in 2D. Flip! I'm upside down! I've been getting back into Godot since that stream where you made Pong. This is easier than Sudoku. True. Oh god, programming! Listen, games are cool, and I want to be able to make them. To make games, you have to know some math. Thank you for the donation! Oh my god, Anonymous with the $25. Thank you so much. And Ditto! TC. Who's that? Thank you for the $20. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. For some reason, I'm not getting sound alerts. Can you guys hear the sound alerts? As long as you guys can hear them. I just want to make sure I don't miss them. No? Okay. Let me think. Chat group. Not sure. Control audio. Maybe it doesn't have an audio for it. Don't worry. I will do my best to make sure. If you donate and I don't read it out, please let me know in the chat. I really want to make sure that I say everyone. Thank you so much. We are 1/5 of the way there. We can do it. For the children! Hi, Dank! How's it going? When we write from top to bottom, so it's easier to add stuff on the screen from top to bottom. That's a good way to look at it, too. Okay. Qdoku or something. For the kids! Thank you, DC! Woohoo! It's going good. That's all we can ask for. I drank 4 espresso shots today. My brain is vibrating. Alright. And so it makes sense with all of these operations, right? B is a vector of 3, 6. If you divide it by a vector by 3, everything in the vector gets divided by 3. So 1, 2. So you can taste colors now? Basically. Hi, Robbie! Make sure you tell your friends. VTuber SummerSlam! It ends today. And we are 1/5 of the way to the goal. We have made $100 for the kids! I'm gonna donate too. Are we making a platformer with oddly inaccurate hitboxes? Not yet! I'm learning about vector math first. That will only enable us to make a platformer game with terrible hitboxes. Actually, maybe I could make more terrible hitboxes if I don't know. Alright, so then we know the drill, right? Even with negative numbers, we have a vector of 1, 2 times -2 is gonna give you -2, -4. Makes sense! Linear algebra! Woohoo! Hello? Oh my gosh! Math! I just realized I got somewhere to be! It's okay, Starly! I'll protect you! Well, I saw a game where the main character's power is just using no-clip rubber banding as their power. It would be amazing. That would be fun. I thought of a game I want to make. No one steal my idea, okay? It's a fishing game with a fun mechanic for how to... Here, I won't say it. I'll try to do it on stream sometime, okay? No! Stop Stop taking notes right now. Cut it out. Well, form a protection circle to protect everyone from the math. Yeah. The salt circle. Everyone knows if you're salty about math, it's the kryptonite. Multiplying a vector by a positive scalar does not change its direction, only its magnitude. Oh yeah, see? That's a good way to put it. So if you multiply a scalar by 2, it's only going to double it in the same direction. It's a good way to represent it. The donations! Whoa! $100! Thank you, Myron, so much! Wow! MVP. MVP stands for Myron Valuable Player. Thank you so much for the children. Yeah, I'm gonna donate and I'm also gonna get this sweater, I think. So if you see someone in the wild wearing the sweater, no, you didn't. Some days ago was the fishing festival on Steam. Oh yeah! I gotta see what fishing games I got. Maybe we gotta do a fishing Sunday. We are Myron, this valuable player! Hell yeah! Only one of those sweaters will ever be made. $100, let's go! Yup. Here, let me also share. If you guys have time and you're a streamer too, if you have time to stream today, I encourage you to also do a campaign for the VTuber SummerSlam. I was gonna share their mission page. Thank you, Rage! You got a bonus sub for your generous donation to the children. Here's their mission page. They are awesome. And you know, if you can't donate right now, that's totally okay. I always have an ongoing campaign for Gamers Outreach on my channel. So whenever you're able to, it's super appreciated. Come on and slam! Alright. Practical applications. Can you guys think of what you would use this for? There's already one that you can see on the page. Movement, right? A vector can represent any quantity with a magnitude and direction. Typical examples are position, velocity, acceleration, and force. In this image, the spaceship at step 1, right here, has a position vector of 1, 3, and a velocity vector of 2, 1. The velocity vector represents how far the ship moves each step. We can find the position for step 2 by adding the velocity to the current position. Makes sense, right? So if you're starting here and you have a velocity of 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, you end up here. It's a cute little diagram. XLR8. Accelerate. Wow. Battleship. I only want to make first-person 3D dungeon crawlers. What does this have to do with math? True! Wow. Tip. Velocity measures the change in position per unit of time. So your unit of time might be a frame or whatever you want it to be, really. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Pepe Sylvia. The new position is found by adding the velocity multiplied by the elapsed time. Here to be assumed to be 1 unit, so 1 second to the previous position. In a typical 2D game scenario, you would have a velocity in pixels per second, PPS, multiplied by the delta time elapsed since the previous frame from the process or physics process callbacks. Makes sense. So, as the first argument from process or physics process, you get the delta, which is the diff from the previous operation. Puppy Sylvia doesn't exist, Mac! Why do I have to learn? It's Sunday! I'm so sorry! It's the only day I have free time. PPS? It's the PPS. Pointing towards a target. Oh yes, this is very important. In this scenario, you have a tank that wishes to point its turret at a robot. Subtracting the tank's position from the robot's position gives the vector pointing from the tank to the robot. Wow! Okay. So, we would get the vector for where the robot is and where the tank is. Alexa, craze that robots, Jordans! Oh my god. Ooh, targets. I'm watching you learn, so I can tell myself I also learned. That's valid. You're allowed to do that. So, if you want to find a vector pointing from A to B, use B minus A. Robot minus tank. So we're not setting the tank's position. We are only figuring out. So this right here, this is one that points at the robot. So we don't change the tank's position. We just figure out what vector would make us point at the robot. Clue! I'm late. How's it going? It's good. How are you? It's all I think about every day. You guys remember the tank game from Wii Party? I bet this song will be on here. Wait, oh no, the math. It's all coming together. It's making sense! Uh-oh. There's someone who played all of it using only mines. Oh my god, that's crazy. I like that emo. Just got back from a weekend vacay at the lake. Nice. I went outside yesterday. And yes, I got a sunburn. I never learned. I did put on sunscreen, but I was wearing a sleeveless dress. And I got sunburn on my shoulders, okay? I can't help it. Another game or 10, baby. Vector subtraction. A minus B means B points at A. Yeah. Kind of confusing because the order flips. Exactly. Now the sock lines will be super visible. How did you know? It just made the socks look more visible. Unit vectors. A vector with a magnitude of 1 is called a unit vector. They are also sometimes referred to as direction vectors or normals. Unit vectors are helpful when you need to keep track of a direction. The music is beautiful. Such a jam. It's not a trip outside if Q doesn't get burned. Yeah. What's the point of going outside if I don't have proof that I went outside? Normalizing a vector means reducing its length to 1 while preserving its direction. This is done by dividing each of its components by its magnitude. Because this is such a common operation, Godot provides a dedicated normalized method for this. Oh, sweet! Because normalization involves dividing by the vector's length, you cannot normalize a vector of length 0. Make sense? Attempting to do so would normally result in an error. In GDScript though, trying to call the normalized method on a vector of length 0 leaves the value untouched and avoids the error for you. So, you may not want to use this if you need to know that an error has occurred, because this normalized method will swallow the error if you are trying to divide by 0. Also, it's so cool that the music changed depending on what tanks were on the map. They always have such nice polish in their games. Achievement unlocked. Vitamin D. First unlocked by cleared 6/28, 2005. How you doing? Hi, Valen. How's it going? So check for length is 0 first. You can, if you care about. So if you don't care, like if you're just like, I just want it to be normalized, I don't really care if it's 0. Don't do anything if it's 0. Then you don't need to check first. Yeah, only if you can. Yeah. That or put in a try catch. Life would be so much more fun when getting achievements. Yeah, that's so true. I don't know though. I kind of hate those glasses that like record you. The AI glasses. I hate this timeline. But with something like that, you could have like a HUD and it could give you achievements. It could be cool. I don't like where we're at right now with privacy and stuff. Do not write make a homebrew species for D&D. Ooh, cool. Is Godot syntax like JavaScript? Yeah, it's pretty similar. You can see too they have C# support. It's pretty similar. No, there's no semicolons, and it uses like indentation. So it's like TypeScript and Python had a baby. I love having to keep track of my error potentials in my head. Keep it up. What y'all don't want to wear the stylish, sexy Google Glass. This post has been sponsored by Alphabet Inc. No, I don't want it. Okay, reflection. A common use of unit vectors is to indicate normals. Normal vectors are unit vectors aligned perpendicularly to a surface, defining its direction. They're commonly used for lighting, collisions, and other operations involving surfaces. For example, imagine we have a moving ball we want to bounce off a wall or other object. Okay, I understand. The surface normal has a value of 0, 1 because this is a horizontal surface. So 0, 1. When the ball collides, we take its remaining motion. So this is 0, 1. The amount left over when it hits. It would continue going this way, but instead we're gonna invert it to go this way. In Godot, there is a bounce method to handle this. Here's a code example of the above diagram using a character body 2D. Hi, Nose! Welcome! That game is super goofy. I feel like the way that it makes my my mic sound is like extra silly. I'm good, how are you? I drank 4 special shots today. I love convenient methods. Me too. They're so convenient. Hi, Taro! Welcome! It's a good game. Yeah, I might see if Mr. I Can Play wants to play more of it tonight for the VTuber Summer Slam! We are raising funds for Gamers Outreach, who give kids access to video games in the hospital. It's a worthy cause. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. We are at 200 of our $500 goal. Thanks to all of you. Amazing cuties. Alright, so our collision. Move and collide. Velocity times delta. If collision, so this will be true in this example once we hit here. Then we get our reflection, which is like get the remainder of the collision, so where it would be heading, the direction, and invert it. This bounce method will like invert it. Get normal. So get normal is this point. Velocity, set the velocity to the inverted one. The bounce, reflect, velocity. Okay, I'm trying to follow this. So this invert the velocity so it ends up going that way, and then also move it in that direction. This one's a little bit more of a complicated one that I will have to play with, but I think I understand. Moth! Moths come from caterpillars too. Dot product. The dot product is one of the most important concepts in vector math, but it is often misunderstood, just like me. Dot product is an operation on two vectors that returns a scalar. Unlike a vector, which contains both magnitude and direction, the scalar only has magnitude. Yep, we said that earlier. The formula for dot product takes two common forms. Oh my god! I don't know these. Internet Wi-Fi themed caterpillar? I'm not a caterpillar, I'm a spider! I mean, a girl. Cloud girl. Not spider, not caterpillar. Alright, so the mathematical notation. How do you say this? What does this mean? What's these two bars mean? I don't know that. Is it in this? Two bars. I'm a spider. You say it like that. Oh, makes sense. I understand. A spider with caterpillars for legs? No. Magnitude of A. Oh, thank you. Okay. Magnitude. Oh, I see. So it's telling me how to say this. Magnitude of vector A. I understand. Absolute value of the absolute value of A. That marks text spoiler on Discord. You're right! Are those the absolute values? Oh, cool. Never mind. Yeah. Alright, I think that makes sense. This means... So, A times B is the magnitude of A and the magnitude of B cosine theta. I will learn these things. And what's the mean when it's at the bottom again? It's been several since I was learning any math. So, the component. Okay, the x component of vector A. Subscript. It's also in the sentence. Maybe your head's blocking it. Yeah, it's in the sentence. Okay, so the mathematical notation represents the magnitude of vector A, and this one means the x component of vector A. A times B is the x component of vector A times the x component of vector B plus the y component of vector A times the y component of vector B. Okay. I don't know what this one means, but I'll figure it out. However, is that the same? Is this the same? Math is evil. I don't support it. Sine, cosine, 3.14159. That's just if you don't want to use dot. Okay. In most cases, it's easiest to use the built-in dot method. Note that the order of the two vectors does not matter. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So, this dot method is off of the vector2 class. The dot product is most useful when used with unit vectors, making the first formula reduce to just cosine theta. This means we can use the dot product to tell us something about the angle between two vectors. Okay, so the A dot B greater than 0, it means that it's... Wait. This one's going this way, this one's going this way. It's less than 90 degrees. Okay. So, when using unit vectors, the result will always be between -1 and 1. Okay, so a straight line. Greater 0 means less than 90. It flips again. Got it. You are a mathematician then. I have to be vlogging. It's sleeping time. Thank you for coming, Arzelli! Well, let the math drawl lull you to sleep. A dot B less than 0 is that it's greater than 90 degrees. That is confusing. Why is that? Because A dot B... I wish I would say what the value is. So 1 is 0 degrees. That would mean it's like a totally straight line between them. It's hard to think about in my brain. Greater than 90 degrees. A dot B is 0 means that it is 90 degrees. Okay. I think I understand. I mean, as much as I possibly can without doing it myself. I think 0 degrees is the same direction, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So, if it's acute, it'll be greater than 0. What a cute angle. 0 degrees means it's a parallel. Makes sense. We learning how to be in Spain without the A? Spin? High five, welcome! You can test it out by making 2 vectors and doing the dot product by hand. Okay. We can try that. If it takes too long, I will move on. I will do my best, okay? You have to cheer me on, because I have math anxiety. Okay, let's pretend we have a vector. Do I have a size thingy in here? Where's the size? Shapes? Ships? Maybe this is fine. Kind of. Where's the size? This interface got so weird. Brushies? Brushy. What the heck? Oh, is this it? I see it now. Alright. So we have A. I'm drawing with a mouse. A is a vector of 1, 2. Okay? And then B is a vector of -3 and 4. Okay. Let's go, cool maths! I believe. Okay, I can do it. I keep looking at this page and I still don't understand what the dot product is for at all. I think it's to be able to tell the direction, the angle between two vectors, I think. So, if we have like one of these things. Okay. This is y. this is x. And we say, pretend 1, 2. Oh no, I did a negative. I'll just get rid of the negative one. It's not negative anymore. Okay. I'll try to put 4 on each of these. Beautiful. Hi, Mr. X! Alright, so we got 1, 2. This is our A right here. Oops, wrong thing. 1, 2. This is A. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is right here. Okay. Dot product is just how much in the same direction are they. So 0 means opposite direction. Okay, that's a good way to put it. So if we have right here A times B is this is very beautiful. The x component of A times the x component of B plus... Oops, I put B in the wrong color. I'm trying to make it easy to follow. B. X component. Plus... the y component of A. Oops. Times the y component of B. I love Tomodachi Life. I can't wait. 0 means orthogonal. I forgot. Is it 0 or negative 1 means opposite? Should be negative 1. Okay. Of these shapes, I'm scared. Oh yeah. Goes from negative 1 to 1. So minimum mean opposite. Khan Academy quality. So this would be AX is 1 times how should I do this? Times what's so hard to see? No, that looks like an X. Here. I'm doing it with my mouse. Plus or times Hi Crocodile! Welcome! Enjoyed the math. 3 plus the y component of A, which is 2. Oh, here. This should be... Oops. No, stupid AI. Get out of here. Stupid. I can do it, stupid. This. There. I fix it. Beautiful. 1 times 3 plus 2 times... Oh, beautiful. Times the y component of B, which is 4. There. So we get... I have to make this bigger. We get 3 plus 8. Boop. Beautiful. So we get... Wait, so now I'm trying to figure out how this works. Anyone else smell toast? Okay, so how do you get the negative thingy from this? Did I do it wrong? Oh no, A times B equals that. Okay. Right. A times B equals that. Equals 11. But so then what do I do? The dot method. A dot B. Okay. I see. A dot B. Oh, yeah, I see it. I thought that was a multiply symbol. Oops. Thank you. I'll do that. Make sure it's low down. So A dot B. Dot B. A. Okay. You guys are such math people. Equals that. 11. So then how do you get the number? The -1 or the 1? Does it tell... Oh, cos... Wait. Yeah, then you do the cosine thing? This is the part of math that evaded me in school. But I'm trying now, okay? Give me a break. Sheesh. Graphing calculator? Oh! I saw a graphing calculator on my computer. Oh. Cosine. All math evaded me in school. Relatable. So then... Oh, there's those lines. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. Alright, I'm looking up it. Cosine. How do you do it? Cosine 11. Is this radians? Rad? Is this rad? Rad? Then the second equation has a theta angle. You solve using the 11 you got. So is it between these? Is it 0, 0? Oh god. 0, 4, 4? Question point? That seems right? That's how I feel doing math. This way. This is my face when math. It is my face because I have zeros in my eyes. Nope! Oh no. Let me get this out of here. Get out of here. Disgusting. Wrong answer. Pew! Pew! The two equations are separate, right? So 11 is the answer. The other equation should also give 11. I think that makes sense, yeah. So this is the answer for this one. You're right. It's a totally different question. Ding! This is our answer. So how to get the dot. Making the first formula reduce to just cosine theta. I don't know what theta is. A, B, cosine theta. What made you talk like this? This is my voice. This is just what I sound like. I don't sound any different when I'm at work. If I I'm on stream, I'm usually more goofy though. Theta is the angle. Okay. Yeah, I use online calculator and it's 11. Okay. A dot B is... Oh, I'm trying to... What's the lines again? Magnitude of vector. Okay, so A dot B is magnitude of vector A. Is it times the magnitude of vector B? Cosine theta? I don't know. Okay. I understand more than I did before though. I like how I wrote really big up here and then I started writing smaller. I survived the maths! So length of A times length of B times cosine of angle. Okay. Hi, Sonoctagram, welcome! That's a cool name. And then this is me. This... Boop. Me. Purple is for silly text. Alright, so we did that. I don't know how to do this part yet. Maybe I'll figure it out as it goes. Alright. So we can use this fact to detect whether an object is facing toward another object. Okay, makes sense. In the diagram below, the player, P, is trying to avoid the zombies, A and B. Assuming a zombie's field of view is 180, can they see the player? Yeah, they can. He definitely can. Look at this. He perceives. He does maybe not perceive. Oh, so if the arrow's in the field of view, FB, the green arrows, FA and FB, are unit vectors representing the zombie's facing direction. And the blue semicircle represents its field of view. For zombie A, we find the direction vector AP, which points to the player. So you are vector A, so player minus vector A, vector player minus vector A, and normalize it. Godot has a helpful method to do this called direction 2. Easy peasy. If the angle between this vector and the facing vector, so the angle here, this is less than 90 degrees. If it is a cute angle, then they can see. So if it's cute, they can see. If it's a cute angle, they can perceive. So vector A... Hi, Fred! You're telling me my computer does this much math 60 times per second? You bet it does. So... A... Vector A direction to player, vector player. If that calculation dot the unit vector for where... Okay, so FA is the vector for where the zombie is currently facing. So the direction to the player dot direction you're facing is greater than 0. It means that it is acute and they can perceive. Many more if you count all the pixels your GPU lights up. Oh my gosh, that's way too many pixels. Acute angle like Kiel? Ah, shucks. I can be perceived. Wait, no! I don't want to be perceived. Do not perceive me. Okay, this is cool. I don't know that I ever really knew this stuff, so it's really good to be aware of. And remember, it's totally okay to like understand the general concept, and then when you actually have to do it, you know where to go to refresh your memory. So you can always come back to this article. Cross product. Like the dot product, the cross product is an operation on two vectors. However, the result of the cross product is a vector with a direction that is perpendicular to both. Its magnitude depends on their relative angle. If two vectors are parallel, the result of their cross product will be a null vector. Makes sense. Okay, so is this in 3D? I can't tell. Like, it seems like it is. Real. And if you have to do something weird, it's good to know how the methods work. Yes, exactly. So, the magnitude of A times B is the... Wait, is that magnitude? Yeah, is the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B? Is this times, like... If they're just next to each other, it's times, right? When I'm doing something on Game Maker, I go to the site all the time to remember stuff. Yeah. Okay. Magnitude of A cross B. Oh, cross product. Yes, thank you. Very true. Okay, so magnitude of A cross B is the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B sine AB. Sure. Okay, so cross product is 3D. Yep. So vector C is the vector y times vector AY times vector BZ minus vector AZ times vector BY. Okay, good. They have just a way to do it. All this stuff can be done for any amount of dimensions. Wow, that breaks my brain though. There's more than 3 dimensions. I have no idea what's going on, but I do believe in you and thank you for killing it. Thank you, Alex! I think I generally get it. So like, you might do this kind of stuff when you're in 3D and like these two collide or something, right? There's vector 4 too? What do you even use that for? Thank goodness for the method, right? The cross product is not mathematically defined in 2D. Okay, I got it. Vector 2 cross is a method commonly used analog of the 3D cross product for 2D vectors. So why would you need a cross product for a vector 2? The 2D analog of the cross product for this vector and width. Cause 2D only has one perpendicular. Oh! Cross product is not defined in 2D mathematically. This method embeds the 2D vectors in the XY plane of 3D space and uses their cross product Z component as the analog. So does this affect performance or anything? If you're in 2D and it has to like do a calculation in 3D just for this, is that a performance concern? Yo, did you know a vector is a rank 1 tensor? Whoa! So true though, math is happening. If I remember right, cross product gives you a vector that is perpendicular to both vectors. That makes sense. Doing more math affects performance. That's true. But I mean, like, I guess I'm trying to figure out what would you use the cross product for in 2D. It seems like you shouldn't. Unless, like, you're in 3D and you're trying to only make it look like it's 2D or something. I don't know. Don't typically use it in 2D. Okay, that's why I think that makes sense. It's just interesting that they have an option for it. I wonder what you would use it for. Okay. In the cross product, order matters. A cross B does not give the same result as B cross A. The resulting vectors point in opposite directions. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so one common use of cross products is to find the surface normal of a plane or surface in 3D space. If we have the triangle ABC, we can use vector subtraction to find two edges, AB and AC. Using the cross product, AB cross AC produces a vector perpendicular to both. Okay. So that's the other side. AB cross AC is BC or no? Could it be? In 3D space? Maybe not. Yeah, no. Find the surface normal with 3 vertices. Okay. So this is just like the... I'm trying to visualize what it is. I wish they had a graph for this. The surface normal. What is the surface normal again? Didn't they say already? Surface normal. Oh, right. Okay. It's different in 3D. It's a little bit harder to visualize in 3D. If you draw ABC on paper, the cross vector will be coming out of the paper. Okay, I understand. What kind of game are you planning to make? I don't know yet. I did have a fun idea. I want to make something like web fishing. I want to make just like a chill, hang out with your friends game. But also maybe not like open lobby, but like you make a lobby for your friends so I don't have to worry about like modding. Well, not modding, moderating. With the proximity chat, because I think proximity chat's funny. Okay. So we have this side. We have these 3 vectors. Vertices, sorry. So B minus A is the first side. C minus A is the second side. The normal is side 1 cross side 2. Okay. In the dot product section, we saw how it could be used to find the angle between 2 vectors. In 3D, this is not enough information. We also need to know what axis to rotate around. Oh. We can find that by calculating the cross product of the current facing direction and the target direction. The resulting perpendicular vector is the axis of rotation. They really stopped having the examples further down. Okay, so the vector. Okay. So pointing to a target, the axis to rotate around. So we have the normal Facing direction. I want them to like show more information. Okay, advanced math. This isn't math. This is advanced math. The dot product has another interesting property with unit vectors. Imagine that perpendicular to that vector and through the origin passes a plane. Planes divide the entire space into positive over the plane and negative under the plane. And, contrary to popular belief, you can use their math in 2D. Why is that contrary to belief? Unit vectors that are perpendicular to a surface, so they describe the orientation of the surface, are called unit normal vectors. So this. Though usually they are just abbreviated as normals. So this is the normal toward the positive space. The orientation of the surface. So this is like a platform where this is the top. And you know it's the top because that's the way the normal's pointing. Normals appear in planes, 3D geometry. Normals appear in planes, 3D geometry, etc. Oh, okay. To determine where each face or vortex is siding. A normal is a unit vector, but it's called normal because of its usage. Just like how we call 0, the origin. Okay. The plane passes by the origin, and the surface of it is perpendicular to the unit vector. The side the vector points to is the positive space, half space. The other side is a negative half space. In 3D, this is exactly the same except that the plane is an infinite surface instead of a line. I know all about planes. I've even flew in one before. Wow! Let me know. How's it going? We're trying to do the maths today. Distance to plane. Now it's clear what a plane is? Will definitely knows what the plane is. You've been in one even. I want to make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, we're good. Don't forget! We are participating in the VTuber Summer Slam! Benefiting Gamers Outreach. Gamers Outreach provides video games and interaction to kids who are stuck in hospitals so that they can make new friends and talk to their old friends and make their time in the hospital a little less sad. Thank you, Arcana, so much! Oh my god, Arcana. You are the A-team. I was trying to think of something like the MVP. Arcana, you are also the MVP. Thank you so much for the $100. That puts us only 200 away from our goal. And that is amazing. You guys are amazing. The Summer Swam! You know what? I will suffer for the children. I will do math if it's to benefit the children. Tired and annoyed? I'm sorry. I hope that you feel better. Random question. How did you decide on your clothes? And did you ever decide they they were too simple? I like simple designs. The only thing is that I do want to make a new model sometime soon. I have a cool idea for how to do my hair. And if you don't know, I drew and rigged my own model. And And my original idea was really inspired by Nia from Gurren Lagann. I love her. And sometimes in the show, she has like really cool, like flowy cloud hair. And I want to try to do that on my model. Obviously not this one. I don't think I could. I don't know how I would do that. The way that it's split. But the one thing is that I don't think I like how complicated the top of my head is. Like, no one really knows. It's not straightforward how to draw it. But, like, I imagined, like, my ears were just kind of floating behind my head. But everyone kind of draws it different, so I think it's kind of confusing. So, it makes sense. But I would like to even simplify it more, actually. So that it's not so different for anybody that interprets it. So here, I was gonna show my beep. This is me. I'm just a little guy. I got this outfit. I think that I will keep like the skirt the same and the sockies, but I might make one of them look more scrunched. Smile. Hi! Kills her own mama and papa. I am a self-made girl. Next outfit debut will be a circle with eyes. That's valid. It's like that spider. the arachnophobia spider. The noodles. I see, that's funny. I also look for Neo for reference right now. Cause you also draw your own reference sheet. Yeah, I think next time I draw my model, that's what I'll end up doing. No, lag alert! Ah! And then also like my flaps, I might change those. They don't translate super good to anything but like a cartoony style, so yeah. Killer Spider confirmed. No, what are you talking about? Are those ears or antenna? I thought they were antennas. They are technically, but I wanted them to like act like antennas, or like kind of like how everyone's ears react to how they're like feeling. I wanted it to be like that, but like they are antennas, but they're supposed to look like bunny ears too. I love your washed out LED RC CRT colors. So these are actually all effects. See? This is how my model is drawn. Is these colors. And then I put an effect on them to glow and stuff. Everything changed when the Titans attacked. But yeah, it's just... there's too much stuff on the top of my head. So I wanna like change that a little bit, but... oops! I resized my screen, one sec. I mean, what? I got cut in half! Ah! Okay, I fixed it. Youch! Yeah! I have some ideas. The ears are like the best part! Okay, I'll try to incorporate it still somehow, but... looking over the wall, the Cloud Titan! It got no mouth. Not what I'm perceiving. And then, for a long time, I was like, I really want it to be more simple, because I can do the V-Burger stuff. I don't know. No shade to anybody. I kind of think the V-Bridger mouth kind of ends up looking the same on everybody. So I'll try to do V-Bridger, but like in a way that it doesn't look the same as all the other models. I don't know how to put it. It's like you can always tell when someone's using V-Bridger, which is not a bad thing, but I have ideas, I guess. I would like to try. Oh, and I wanted to give myself pointy ears because I thought that was cute. I saw Minto. She had pointy ears for no reason, and I was like, I want pointy ears for no reason. What is Vaybridger? It's like a extra tracking program you can use to give yourself a couple more like AR kit parameters. I'm making it more confusing. It's like there's more face tracking parameters that are available if you use Vaybridger. So you can have like the jaw moving without your mouth opening and stuff. But yeah, the whole goal of my model in the first place was to make it look like anime. Like it was like a cell drawn in an anime or something. The Cloud Titan. Having more drip options makes it easier for artists. Yeah. I think I'll still keep the outfit mostly. I do think I want to change the collar near my neck. So like this part, I want to change this part so that it's the same blue color with another like line. It's just a little too washed out between my chin and the middle, the button thing. Weep. Goal achieved, thank you! Vaybridger is a checkbox on commission forms that add like $200. It is not easy, that's for sure, to add Vaybridger. And a lot of people can make it look really good. Like, Saba's model. I watched her debut yesterday. She's using Vaybridger and it looks really good. I think Celia is my favorite rigging person. She does a really good job. It gets easier to know what you are without the drip. Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah. They can draw you the way they want without changing your essence. Yeah, exactly. That's what I would like to do. Asking is someone who only knows you get an iPhone in VTube Studio and has a model commission in the pipeline. Nice! Yeah, so either way, the iPhone it gives you better tracking. Oh! What's that? Wow! Thank you, Ryan, for the $10 for the children! Thank you so much! The ears are a cute staple. Weep! Paper boat! Yeah, she's very cute. I really like her design. Yeah. And I really like the face angles and stuff. Like, Celia's so good. As soon as she, like, showed her face, I was like, this is definitely Celia. So, it looks so good. Thank you! Maybe I should also look into more simpler clothing, especially considering the hair and tail will be the most complicated part. Yeah, it's really good, I think, to have something that, like, still makes you identifiable. But, you know, simple designs are usually the most memorable, so. She conjured them all. Yeah, I love it. I really think somehow Celia always makes it so that, like, even though it doesn't matter what the art style is, like, the rigging is the most recognizable part to me. And I don't know how you manage that. It's like, you can make any art style. You can work with any art style and I'll still be able to tell that you rigged it. That's, like, inspiring. So, yeah. Okay, anyway. We can get to a couple more of these. I can stream until 7 o'clock my time, so let's get to more math. But yeah, I need to find more time to, like, draw. Distance to a plane. Okay, yeah, I did this part. I wanted to try going to rigging, and then I saw I need to sell my liver for 1 year of the software. I think it's like $100 a year, which for me now it's like I'm rigging. If I rig myself once a year, that's worth it, because then rigging can be really expensive. Like, I would not be surprised if Saba's rigging was up near the 10k mark. I wouldn't really be that surprised. Maybe to be conservative around 5K. Drawing stream! I have to be more confident, I think. Maybe if I like have a sketch, then I can do the drawing stream. I'm not good at sketching under pressure. For me, it's like 1 liver and 2 kidneys. Yeah, but like if you think about it, like if you are doing it yourself and you're not paying someone else to rig it, it's like worth $100. Sabo's rigging probably also took a few months. Yeah, some people have like workflows that they've like perfected and like can get it done really fast, but like I think it would take a long time. Drunk stream would be awesome! I'm also considering doing karaoke. I'm really nervous about karaoke though. So like 10K for 3 months is kind of normal. Yeah. I think so. When you're really good at it and it's like your professional job, yeah. Not bad. For me, I could not justify it. For someone at Sabo's level, definitely you can justify it. Oof, probably. But yeah, I learned rigging because I'm just that cheap. Okay. Distance to plane. Now that it's clear what a plane is, let's go back to dot product. The dot product between a unit vector and any point in space. Yes, this time we do dot notation between vector and position. Returns the distance from the point to the plane. So if you're in the air or you're in falling down a hole, I don't know. So the distance is the normal dot point. So this is the normal dot. This point gives you this distance. But not just the absolute distance. If the point is in the negative half space, the distance will be negative too. Yep, makes sense. This allows us to tell which side of the plane a point is. Makes sense. You sang really good. I know it. There's a short of you singing. Thank you. For some, like, I don't think I'm bad at singing. I don't think I'm amazing at singing. I like singing. But for some reason, I've always been really super, like, nervous about singing in front of people. I don't know what it is. Like, I've always just been like that. Okay. Away from the origin. I know what you're thinking. So far, this is nice. But real planes are everywhere in space. Not only passing through the origin. You want a real plane action and you want it now. These docs are way more entertaining. Apple, welcome! I had a physics teacher make a big deal out of negative distance, but like, it just makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense, especially if you think about it like a platform. It's like you're below the platform. Makes sense. I want my plane and I want it now! I know your voice is adorable. Thank you, Mino. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff I want to share. I'm really bad with numbers, but I do love Godot. Totally the same. We are the same. I mean, technically, distance is a scalar, and displacement is a vector, right? I think that makes sense. I'm not good at the terminology yet, but I'm trying. It's like I said, I wasn't good in school. I learn best when there's like a practical application for something. So if someone was like, oh, learn this and you can make games, I would have paid way more attention. It's normal to be nervous about it. I want to get to the point where I don't feel so nervous about it. I don't think I'll ever totally not be nervous to sing in front of people, but I did karaoke, like one karaoke song in front of people. That was a big accomplishment. But it was a duet. I did Barbie Girl. Come on, Barbie girl, in the Barbie world. you know, it makes sense with my voice. If I knew I was going to love game dev, I would have probably tried learning in school. Same! So relatable. Okay, anyway. You want real plane action? You want it now! Remember that planes not only split space in two, but they also have polarity. That means it's possible to have perfectly overlapping planes, but their negative and positive half spaces are swapped. So up is down and down is up for the same plane sometimes. Not same one, for like a plane in the same space. With this in mind, let's describe a full plane as a normal n and a distance from the origin scalar d. Thus, our plane is represented by n and d. Okay, makes sense. For 3D math, Godot provides a plain built-in type that handles this. Basically, n and d can represent any plane in any space, be it for 2D or 3D, depending on the amount of dimensions of n. My brain can only handle 3 dimensions. And the math is the same for both. It's the same as before, but d is the distance from the origin to the plane, traveling in n direction. Okay, makes sense. As an example, imagine you want to reach a point in the plane. You will just do n times d. Okay. This will stretch, resize, the normal vector and make it touch the plane. This math might seem confusing, but it's actually much simpler than it seems. If we want to tell, again, the distance from the point to the plane, we do the same but adjusting for distance. So normal dot point minus d, which is the scalar to the origin. Quaternions! I don't even know what that is, but it's a cool word! The same thing using a built-in function. Okay, distance to. That's way nicer. Plane distance to point. This will again return either a positive or negative distance. Makes sense. Flipping the polarity of the plane can be done by negating both n and d. This will result in a plane in the same position, but with inverted negative and positive half spaces. Yep, makes sense. Godot also implements this operator in plane, so you can do this. Plane is negative, plane is the inverted plane. Okay. Time for a sippy! This is such a goofy song. So remember, the plane's main practical use is that we can calculate the distance to it. So when it's useful to calculate the distance from a point to a plane, or when it's useful. Let's see some examples. Let's get to the examples already. Constructing a plane in 2D. Planes clearly don't come out of nowhere, obviously. So they must be about. Constructing them in 2D is easy. This can be done either from a normal unit vector and a point, or from 2 points in space. In the case of a normal and a point, most of the work is done as the normal is already computed. So calculate d from the dot product of the normal and the point. Okay, so we have a normal already. The scalar to the origin from the normal is the normal dot point. Okay. For 2 points in space, there are actually 2 planes that pass through them, sharing the same space but with normal pointing to the opposite directions. To compute the normal from the 2 points, the direction vector must be obtained first. And then it needs to be rotated 90 degrees to either side. So d vec, calculate vector from A to B. So point A, direction to point B. The normal is 90 degrees is the negative of the x value. Oh, hello there, gentle voice lady. Hello there. We got going. Yeah, we're looking at the vector math docs on Godot's website. Cause I am self-admittedly not a math girly. I never really was good at math, I guess. I don't think I'm not good at math. I think my brain can't pay attention unless it has a practical application. Linear algebra, yeah. Flashbacks to before I quit university. Definitely you are among comrades in school not being the best way to learn things. For me, that is how I felt. Hell yeah! But we can do it! We can find how these make sense. Because I love your review. Thank you! Yeah. There's plenty of people that do not... School is not the platform where they actually can learn effectively. I'm definitely more of a self-taught person. If someone tries to teach me something, I can absorb the high-level information, but I'm not really gonna understand it unless I go in and try it myself, you know? And maybe that's normal, but I would rather just, if I'm gonna have to listen to someone else explain it and then do it myself anyway, I would rather just do it myself. I think I'm also that way. My ADHD helps with that, but I can't really absorb the knowledge if I don't have a use for it. Yeah, me too. You are planning to join the game jam? Oh, I'd like to someday. I think for me it's not important that I develop anything during a certain time period. It'd be fun for the camaraderie and stuff, but I think I just wanna be able to make a game. I honestly don't remember most things from high school, and that was 4 years ago. Wait, dang, I feel a bit old. Well, it's been a really long time since I was in school too, so don't worry about it. We're all old here. This is normal unless you do it yourself. You can't really say you understood. That's true. I think some people can. Some people can learn better from the way that other people explain it, but yeah, for me, I've always had to do it myself. Do it yourself. It's like a kid picking up a thing to look at it. I need to see with my fingies. Yeah. Okay. So, rest is the same as the previous example. Either point A or B will work as they're in the same plane. We have our normal. From this, the D is the distance to the origin from the plane in the direction of the normal. So normal dot point A is same as normal dot point B. Doing the same in 3D is a little more complex and is explained further down. My grandma always said I had eyes on my fingers because I needed to touch everything when I was a kid. So you're a scientist. I guess so. Yeah. Computer scientist. Oh yeah, if you guys are new here, maybe you don't know. I'm a web developer. In my day job. But I would like to be able to make games. So I'm pretty familiar with this kind of syntax. It's really close to TypeScript, which I use every day of my job. So don't feel bad if you don't seem to pick it up as fast. I have a lot of experience with programming anyway, so. Yikes, web development. You know what though? I love it. It always gets a bad rap. People hate CSS. I love CSS. And also, CSS experience makes kind of like the responsive UI kind of stuff you have to do in game interfaces. It's pretty similar, right? Oh! I joined the Pirate Software Game Jam twice. Nothing came out of it. But I did use a little bit, and one thing I learned from is it is why he says it's so important to work on the game design doc. Writing the ideas helps you figure them out and expand on them. Yeah, if you don't have like a concrete idea, sometimes, well, oftentimes you'll have like the feature creep. And there's like a good saying of like, don't let perfect become the enemy of good enough. It's like, it's always better to get something to the point where you can call it done than to have it never release, but make sure everything's perfect. You
Hello,
know?
cutie Q. Q is pretty lady. Q is crying baby beauty. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. My interface says lap pillow. Please, you can even use a cloud.
Oh yeah, but that reminds me. Hi, Spike. Oh, hi, Scarface 3! What are you guys doing? Welcome! Okay, wait, really quick. How's it going? What were you up to? We are raising money for VTuber SummerSlam. Welcome, Raiders. If you can, please be generous and donate to the children. It's in the pinned comment. This is the last day for it. And it benefits Gamers Outreach. Gamers Outreach raises money to make sure that kids in hospitals have access to play video games so they can stay in touch with their friends and make fun memories while they're going through something really hard. So, if you can, we have raised $310. We only have a little bit more to go to meet our goal. Thanks to you guys, the amazing cuties. It's like your panel's blue. Thank you. Yes, I worked very hard on my word art. We made costumes and we were doing the charity as well. Sweet! Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, if you guys are streamers also, today's the last day. If you can make time to stream today, it's really easy to set up the overlay and the campaign. And let's try to raise as much money as we can for the VTuber SummerSlam! Bro, that gives me flashbacks to the 90s. Hospital. I've donated to that charity before, thank you! I swore myself I'd never become a web dev. Also never support Mac, that's a different story. Funny you say that, I also, I'm like one of the only people who chooses to use a Windows machine at work. If it's between Windows and Mac, it's like, I'm gonna pick Windows because I can just use WSL. Oh, sorry. Look, can you show the C# again? Yes. Sorry about that. I got super distracted. Here is the C# version. I don't particularly hate CSS, but I do love Tailwind. I like Tailwind on a team, because then everyone's not making up their own class names. Perfect is the enemy of complete! Yes, exactly. What's that called again? Word art? Yeah, it's word art. The website I use for it is linked in my credits, I hope. It's called Make Word Art. I think .com. Get it adorable and famous! Famous! Don't people use Linux? The cool people. Yeah, Linux is usually not an option when you're working for like a corporation. But the tech support team doesn't want to try to do like the Active Directory stuff with Linux. So, you know, when you're a company and you're giving computers to people, you had to lock them down. I get it. And it's easier to manage the access and security stuff on the more popular operating systems. SummerSlam! Go to TTS. I think it is admirable. Liking your job is all that matters, yeah. I also like that, I can find ways to do some good in the world. I try to make sure everyone knows about accessibility, and I am one of the admins who can approve your PR. So if your PR has accessibility blockers, get rejected. I am a massive computer dork, but I work in a woodshop building furniture. That sounds cool too, though. But yeah, even if I didn't do it as my job, I probably would do it as a hobby. Hell yeah, Super Slam. Yeah. Whoa! My chat got really funny. In our games engineering program, we had a single person use Mac. It was very funny when they asked for an adapter and everyone was like, I'm no programmer, but I made an ASCII dungeon crawler, literally based on just updating CSV files. It was giving behavior to different characters. It was fun. Yeah, that's really cool. I like game development because it's like you can make games any way that you can. If you can imagine it, you can probably make it work. Like, you can make a game only a text adventure, or it's so cool that you can make it any way that you will brute force it. Class names are the devil in CSS, and I'm obsessed with performance and network optimization until one reduces the package size sent to the client by a huge amount. Yeah, it can. You can also mess that up, though. Donation. Thank you, Ryan, for the $25! Another donation! Wooden Chad. Thank you so much! You guys, look at how close we are. All because of you. Will you tell them why they were rejected? Yes, I do. You know, it's kind of tough because I work with a lot of people that are like contractors. And so I never really know if they're gonna stick around. So sometimes it's hard to know like how much time to invest in, you know, making sure they don't do it again or they learn from it, or yeah, it can be tough. And they will just be confused and wonder. You can make any game you want. If it's a fun game, it will be a different question. I think even if you have fun making it, it was worthwhile. Even if it's not really fun to play, you learn a lot just by going through the process. I knew from a young age I wanted to make video games, but the industry at the time in Brazil wasn't big, and digital distribution, releasing games on Steam wasn't a thing. So I decided to enter a university and make money working on boring software so I could fund my game dev career. That works, you know. You always can. That's what I'm doing. I'm learning, you know, something that I'm passionate about on the side. It's not part of my career, but you make time for the things you care about. Easy! Have you played WarioWare? They give a basic way to do minigames, but it's so simple and fun. Yeah, when a little while ago I was trying to make something for the Iron Mouse Game Jam. I didn't end up finishing it, but it was that kind of idea where I make a bunch of mini games and they go faster and stuff. I did develop a passion for web dev, but migrating towards game dev is still my goal. Yeah, you can apply a lot of stuff about interfaces from web dev to game dev. Big Bear Ride at the Super Slam! Super Slam! Why make a fun game if you can make a sad one? Or a sweet one? Yeah, games don't only have to be fun. They can be whatever you want them to be. Whatever you want to make people feel. Games are a good medium to have an emotional effect on people. I just used Pandas. It had a really cool depth first search algorithm for making a wire system. Cool! Oh hi! Oh hi, monkey! Experienced designers. How do I donate? You can check the pinned comment. There will be a link. Or you can scan the QR code in the bottom. I realized it might be too see-through to I think it'll still work, but let me know if the QR code doesn't work. Thank you for donating or considering donating. Thank you. She learned to garden and touches grass. I do touch grass on occasion. Not only that, but having a background in web dev makes you understand how servers and databases works. Yeah, you can use that knowledge to make multiplayer games. That's very true, yeah. Games are art. I hate that people argue otherwise. I totally agree. I recently played and finished a game that was all text-based. Hacker-style game. I should find one of those to play sometime. The rest is the same as the previous example. Yeah. Okay. So let's try to do the same in 3D. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, just making sure. You should touch grass. Okay. Makes a game in which you touch grass. Malicious compliance. How are you so cute? You are the cute one because you are a cutie. TM. Alright. Here's an example of what planes are useful for. Imagine you have a convex polygon. For example, a rectangle, a trapezoid, a triangle, or just any polygon where no faces bend inwards. So this is like, if you think about Mario Galaxy in 2D, this is like a planet. You can walk around the outside but not the inside. For every segment of the polygon, we compute the plane that passes by that segment. Once we have the list of planes, we can do neat things. For example, checking if a point is inside the polygon. We go through all planes. If we can find a plane where the distance to the point is positive, then the point is outside the polygon. If we can't, then the point is inside. Just like the inverse square law, going from 3D doesn't increase the difficulty linearly, it increases exponentially. Yeah, 2D to 3D. Yeah, because there's a whole other dimension. Happy Sunday, average Godot enjoyer. This reminds me a bit when I programmed an image. You programmed an image? Oh, what's this song from? I recognize it. 202. Is this from Wii Fit? Wii Fit, yeah. That was fun. I wonder if I can do a Wii Fit stream sometime. Okay, so this is how it would be. Default to true for inside. Okay, so opposite of Mario Galaxy. So we have our planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planes. If the plane distance to point, so this is a point, is greater than 0, then we are not inside. Yep, but that one fails. It's enough. Can I share a cool thing I'm programming lately? Yeah! Oh, Herdin, are you in the Discord? Also? The Discord, I think, was pinned at the... Or was the first message. Let me repost it, okay? We have a channel in there. Oh, thank you! Wait, let me check. Thank you, man, for the $25 for the children. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I didn't even know if we would get close to the goal, and you guys have just gone above and beyond. Thank you so much. Okay, Hardin. If you want, I posted the Discord. We have a programming channel in there. If you want to post in there. But otherwise, it's okay. No, there's no problem if you want to share here too. And I hope the ads weren't too long. Mint chip sounds kind of yummy. Totally. Thank you so much, you guys. I care about this cause a lot, so I'm really happy you guys do too. We used Vulkan and needed to manually include stuff like ray tracing, refracting, and so on. Oh, I still don't know if I should choose Unreal or Godot. I think it doesn't matter as much as you might think it does. I say you just pick one and get started. Whichever one you just like. If you want to learn one, or if you want to... I just wouldn't overthink the performance differences or anything. It's more important that you just start. Pretty cool, huh? It just gets much better. With a little more effort, similar logic will let us know when two convex polygons are overlapping too. This is called the separating axis theorem, or SAT. Most physics engines use this to detect collision. Huh. With a point, just checking if a plane returns a positive distance is enough to tell if the point is outside. With another polygon, we must find a plane where all the other polygon points return a positive distance to it. This check is performed with the planes of A against the points of B, and then with the planes of B against the points of A. This is a lot. I probably shouldn't, but I'm a bit scared since it will take a lot of time. That's fair. It's an investment. Hi, buddy boy! What's up? Please don't eat me! I should just program my own engine. I saw that silly whatever message from Notch. How far you can fall. I recommend Godot. Problem with Unreal is you either need to really understand it deeply or you'll just end up making an Unreal looking game. That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, when you process a CSV, you can use a library to process linearly. Well, I wrote some Golang code to do it multi-threaded. Oh, cool! Nice! Very cool. Oh, jeez. Trying to understand what this is. This will be easier to understand than this for me. Alright, so we assume that they're overlapping. So we have planes of A. I wish they would have put A or B on here. I think this is A. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for each. So all out. So points of B. Are these normals are points? Or the... I think it's the normal points. So for all the points, if the plane distance to the point is less than 0, that means at least one of them is in. So it can't be all out. A separating plane was found, yeah. And then if they are overlapping, then we check all the planes of B. Because if they aren't overlapping, then they just aren't overlapping. We don't need to check this one. So then, same thing. The point in this plane is less than 0, then one of them is out. Or one of them is in. They collided. Okay, I think I understand. Oh, thanks for that, Lyric. And thanks for your help earlier, mathematician Dink. So I can reduce the time to process a file exponentially by spawning like 100 routines. That's pretty sweet. But I like mint chip ice cream, just a little. maybe later. Maybe since they donated, they can survive another day. I find it interesting how dry what you're reading is. For Unreal, the sheer mass is scary, and how I need to learn it the Unreal way. While Godot still has some 3D problems. Yeah, that's true. Mint chip ice cream is amazing. You know what? I agree. I like mint. Some people don't like it because they think it tastes like toothpaste. But I like toothpaste. That's why I like root beer too. Sippy! I'm happy to be among mint chip lovers. I'm surprised there's multiple types of mint. Root beer! Root beer. As you can see, planes are quite useful, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. You might be wondering what happens with non-convex polygons. This is usually just handled by splitting the concave polygon into smaller convex polygons, or using a technique such as BSP, which is not used much nowadays. What is BSP? What? Oh, sorry, one sec. Mint chip on top! I once bought a box of chocolate coins at a store that was besides the factory that were mint chocolate. I had bought one to taste it. I'd easily have bought 10 boxes. Ugh, I love thin mints. I can have thin mints, they don't have milk in them. Binary spanning tree. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I helped out with my brother's master and rewrote the R code to be on multi-threads, and it reduced the time from 3 days to 8 hours. Nice! Okay. Oh man, I saw you and just click asking for a couple questions. I want to be a DevOps engineer. Without going to university, is it possible for nearly 4 years of work by myself? Huh? Just learn the next command for DevOps. Sometimes some voice coming in my brain that maybe you should change your plan. For example, be a backend or full stack dev instead of DevOps. Well, I think... So here's the thing. I don't really think you need to go to school for any technology career. There might be some people that like look for it on your resume and just like insta kick you if you don't have a school listed, but like if you can if you thrive off of being self-taught, I really think you can self-teach yourself anything.
Kumo jump. Go to school or you'll be a dummy like me.
It all depends, right? Like, if you don't learn well at school, you can get a piece of paper that says you know something and not actually know it. So, like, I'm a big proponent of, like, just show... Like, I don't care if you went to school, really. If you can show me that you know what you're talking about, and you can do the job, then I think that's just as good. Like, I don't think going to school is the end-all be-all, and it doesn't guarantee that you'll get a job at either. I still recommend you learning the basics of full-stack dev, because it'll give you a broader view in the area. That being said, it's very possible for you to learn DevOps on your own online. Yeah, exactly. And I also don't think, like, you can... If you want to learn development, then I don't think it's like an alternative to DevOps, if that makes sense. You should do what you are interested in doing. Because if you have a job being a developer and you don't actually care about development, you're not gonna be a good developer. You're not gonna like doing development. Like, it's way more important that you are interested in what you're doing than... I get it right now too, like, it is hard. You need to be able to make enough money to live. But if you have the option, I would say it's more worth it to invest in what you're gonna like doing for years of your life, you know? And even if you don't, just find something you can tolerate and do what you love on your own time. Yeah. In IT especially, many still discuss 5 years of masters as worthless compared to 5 years of working. Exactly. Like, it's way more important to have experience. Once you have, like, a year of experience, you don't even need to put your school on your resume anymore. Like, I do know some basically learn programming using YouTube. Yeah. And not just YouTube. Like, there's all kinds of tutorials. There's videos. There's, like, walkthroughs. You can just look at a repo in GitHub. I once tried to learn how to play Mahjong, but I got out. Just silly. The best way to learn programming is by programming. Yeah, I agree. You definitely... The best way to learn it is by having an idea of your own and trying to make it work. Just work through the process of getting your idea into something that other people can try. Put to sleep. I get it. You should try bug fixing. That's how you know if you like programming. Well, definitely if you have an idea and you try to make it work, you will create bugs along the way, so... Best way to learn programming is get eaten by bugs you created. Yep. I learned web dev and now I'm migrating towards the DevOps side because I'm a generalist and I like knowing about everything. But I agree. Focus on being a master of what you like. Yeah. And you know what? It's true. Like, you might pick up other interests along the way. Because it's like, maybe you don't know that much about servers. And like, you end up going into web dev. And then you realize like, oh, when I hit this endpoint, it's on a server somewhere. I want to learn more about that. And like, oh, maybe I should set up like an API myself. It's the gateway to... If you just pick a path, I think you'll discover what you're interested along the way. It didn't work? Oh, I heard it. Sugoi, I heard it. Did the sound alert not work? Hi, Timberjack! Look for Make Your Own X on GitHub for a list of cool projects you can make. And there's a website called Roadmap that has a path of what you need to study to learn DevOps. Oh! Okay, here, let me try. Let me know if this doesn't work. Did it work? If not, I'll need to figure that out. Hey Crooked Gamer! How's it cracking? Minto Cheapo. I'm glad the tutorial you read acknowledges that, at least that it doesn't really have much use for using an engine. Yeah, I think, don't hear nothing! Oh no. Oh! It's cause I was in the wrong scene. Here we go. Let me try again, okay? Bruh. I'll do the bruh. Where's the bruh? Where did I put the bruh? Bruh. Bruh. Bruh? Did the bruh work? Yatta! I hope that worked. Okay. Sweet! Sorry, I made you squander your money. Here, let me do it. Let me do this again too. Sugoi! Mush mush. Sugoi. There you go. Sugoi! Alright. We have 400! Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Blake Jones! Wow! $40. What a gamer. Thank you so much! Okay, it worked. Thank you guys. Okay. Pog! I'm trying
I
to find
lost
where
the
that
game.
message is.
Thought you should know.
No! Not the game! Now I lost the game and everyone here lost the game. I can't believe you do that. I don't know how I got here. Numbers make me feel nauseous. What's the goal for? Ah! Oh my god, we're at $400. You guys, you have raised $400. And you know I'm gonna donate at the end too, at the end of stream. Thank you so much. Okay, the money is going to the VTuber Summer Slam.
Yeah.
The VTuber Summer Slam is a campaign for Gamers Outreach. And Gamers Outreach raises money to make sure that kids in hospitals have access to video games and video game consoles to be able to play video games with their friends and make new friends while they're in the hospital and having a rough time. Hopefully they can make some good memories to go along with their hard times. That cheese looks like a post-it. I never say anything sus. Well, I try not to. I missed some messages, I feel like. Yeah! I am a say-so lady. Donation! Thank you, Wolfgang! For the $25! Oh my god, I can't believe you guys. You guys are simply the best. Better than all the rest. No friends! No, Ducky! Man, I love Blake Jones. Look at this guy, what a Chad. Wolf, what a Chad. You guys are all Chads. Including the ladies. Everyone's a Chad. Chad is a gender neutral, awesome person word. What a great person! I have no profitable passions, so I went to school for engineering. That could be profitable, definitely. But yeah, your job doesn't have to be your passion. It just has to make you enough money to do what you are passionate about in your free time. No, you're the best! So much cheese! Alright. We got about a half hour left. And then I'll see if Mr. I Can Play wants to play Peak later. Maybe I'll be back later. That game's really funny. I'm extra silly in it. Profit from your clouds, cue cotton candy. No cotton candy. Collision detection in 3D. Whoa. This is another bonus bit. A reward for being patient and keeping up with this long tutorial. Here's another piece of wisdom. This might not be something with a direct use case. Godot already does collision detection pretty well, but it's used by almost all physics engines and collision detection libraries. Smiley. Remember that converting a convex shape in 2D to an array of 2D planes was useful for collision detection. You could detect if a point was inside any convex shape, or if two 2D convex shapes were overlapping. Well, this works in 3D too. If two 3D polyhedral shapes are colliding, you won't be able to find a separating plane. If a separating plane is found, then the shapes are definitely not colliding. Okay, that makes sense. Also, Chad means lake in the African Kanuri language. So in a way, all donators are lakes. Cool bodies of water. Peak is peak! Hello, Joe! Just donated to the charity. Back to family time. Have a good rest of your stream. Thank you so much, Wolf! I hope you have a great time with your family. The Wolf Pack. Alright. To refresh a bit, a separating plane means that all vertices of a polygon A are in one side of the plane, and all vertices of polygon B are in the other side. This plane is always one of the face planes of either polygon A or polygon B. In 3D though, there is a problem to this approach, because it is possible that, in some cases, a separating plane can't be found. This is an example of such a situation. To avoid it, some extra planes need to be tested as separators. These planes are the cross product between the edges of polygon A and the edges of polygon B. Okay. Separating plane. So the final algorithm is something like this. So we start overlapping. 4 planes of A. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. We have 6 planes for each. Obviously, it's a square. And then we have... I don't know if this is another... This is another plane, right? It's not attached to either of the squares. Cubes. All out. So for points of B. So the points are like the normals? Maybe? If plane distance to point. So if this plane distance to this point is greater than 0. So if it is obtuse, then is it? I can't remember. Does this mean it is? It's greater than 90 degrees, right? And then that means it is overlapping. So let me do this. Yep. So we go through each of the planes of A to check the normals of B, and then if we find something here, then we do the planes of B and check the points of A. And then for edges of A, what is edges of A? I don't know. They didn't define that before. I guess it's just the planes. Is the edge the plane? No. It's just the line, I guess. And then edges of B, we do the cross. And then if there are... If it's 0... I don't know that I totally understand this part. This is length? Is this an array? I guess I don't understand. The edge cross this edge. And then tiny number, huge number. We're using the dot product directly, so we can map a maximum and minimum range for each polygon. Then check if they overlap. So we have the normals of A. I think it's the normals that they're using. And then the distance to the... What is N? I wish I would give better names. I hate these single variable names. Single letter variable names. N is... what? I don't even know what N is supposed to be. If they named it something that was not just N, then I would know. So V is what? Okay, V is the points of A. Mathematicians be like, I know, right? You can use more than one letter in programming. Then I can come back in here and be like, oh, you mean it's a vortex? What would it be? Vector? Why my brain just short circuit, call it a vortex. Vector points of A. Okay, so D. We've called D the distance to the origin, but I don't think it's that anymore. N dot V. Max A. So if it's too big, this is like how I would name variables for something I don't care much about, but will inevitably regret later. Yeah, it's you learn that pretty quick, especially if you're on a team, but mostly for yourself. It's like, I don't even care if I use like really long variable names. It's like, you have autocomplete, my guy. And it's for anywhere, nighttime and all the, here in the deep blue sea. Ha 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 ha. F is for fires or burn down the whole town. U is for uranium bombs. And S for no survivors. That's not how it goes. Okay, I'm not super following what's going on here. Like, why wouldn't you just reuse this? Why? I don't know. Why does there need to be a max A and a max B? Why not put this outside of the loop? I don't know. Polygons collided. Well, I guess you don't super have to know this, right? Because most of the collision stuff is just handled by the engine. Hi, Martha King! What are you trying to program? I'm just trying to learn the vector maths for game development. Welcome! But we did get to the end of this. But, we've got about 20 minutes left. We can just go as far as we can in here. I do feel like I learned a lot of stuff. So, I'd like to make an actual game in Godot sometime. I've made a lot of like proofs of concept and stuff. Wow, I thought vectors and collisions were done by the engine itself. Yeah, it is. In here, they explain like how it works under the hood, which I did kind of want to know, but they also say like here, you can see like the methods that they give you. I'm trying to find one. Oh, so here it'll mention like, here's like how you and why you would normalize a vector, and here's the method you can use. So mostly it's less about knowing exactly what it's calculating under the hood, but it also references which methods you can use. Like they have this bounce method and they explain like why you would use that. So yeah, it's pretty cool to read through it on Godot's site. Cause it explains a little bit about like how and why you would use this method. So you have it in your back pocket when you can think of a reason to use it. So yeah, that's why we're just generally kind of going through all this stuff. Oh, thank you, Texture, for the $10 for the children! Oh my gosh, you guys. We're so close to the goal for Super Slam! Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Matrices and transforms. Before reading this tutorial, we recommend that you thoroughly understand and read and understand. I read it, but I don't know if I understand. The vector math tutorial, as this tutorial requires a knowledge of vectors. Another Giga Chat Slay! Now you may know. This tutorial is about transformations and how we represent them in Godot using matrices. It is not a full in-depth guide to matrices. Transformations are most of the time applied as translation, rotation, and scale, so we will focus on how to represent those with matrices. Most of the guide focuses on 2D, using transform 2D and vector too, but the way things work in 3D is very similar. I don't even know! I have never needed to use a matrix outside of shader programming. Man, I shouldn't be here, but I can't look away. Why shouldn't you be here? Everybody is welcome. Even if you aren't a programmer. Which is right, but you know? As mentioned in a previous tutorial, it's important to remember that in Godot, the y-axis points down in 2D. This is the opposite of how most schools teach linear algebra with the y-axis pointing up. Because I find coding boring! That's fair. But you make it interesting! I'm glad. That's my goal. I love programming. I really want to make a game that, like, people can treasure, you know? There's so many games that have done that for me. I want to be able to make one, yeah, that people love. The convention is that the x-axis is red, the y-axis is green, and the z-axis is blue. The tutorial is color-coded to match these conventions, but we'll also represent the origin vector with a blue color. I got cheese. But guys! Hello. Unimaginable suffering. I want to make a game people have fun with. Exactly! I just want to make a game that means something to people. If it's fun, or if it's sad, or if it's scary. Yeah. Oh gosh! Thank you for the $25! Anonymous Chad. For the Summer Slam. Oh my god. We are almost at the goal. This is the best. You guys are incredible. Matrix components and the identity matrix. Whoa. It sounds so important. The matrix components. The identity matrix represents a transform with no translation, no rotation, and no scale. Let's start by looking at the identity matrix and how its components relate to how it visually appears. So, matrices have rows and columns, and a transformation matrix has specific conventions on what each does. So I don't know what this represents. M is the matrix. 1, 0, 0, 1. Yep. The image above, we can see the red X vector is represented by the first column of the matrix, and the green Y vector is likewise represented by the second column. The change to the columns will change these vectors. Yeah. You can see how they can be manipulated next. Oh, I think I understand. Like, rotating will move it, like, more to this point. Okay, I get it. You should not worry about manipulating rows directly, as we usually work with columns. Okay. However, you can think of the rows of the matrix as showing which vectors contribute to moving in a given direction. When we refer to a value such as txy, that's a y component of the x column vector. So if you have x, this would be the y component of the x. It would be 1. In other words, the bottom left of the matrix. What? Oh. txy. The y component of the x column vector. How would that be bottom left? Okay, you lost me. I thought I got it. Similarly, txx. Okay, so txy is bottom left. txx is top left. tyx top right. tyy bottom right. Okay, where t is the transform 2D. Okay. Scaling the transformation matrix. Applying a scale is one of the easiest operations to understand. Yeah. Let's start by placing the Godot logo underneath our vector so we can see the effects on an object. To scale the matrix, all we need to do is multiply each component by the scale. So if you did 2, it would be 2, 0, 0, 2. Yeah. And then it scales. Because it goes 2. Oh, center origin. Right. So it scales from the center to be this big. The whole top corner. Okay. I think, can't you just... do you have to do separate? Can't you just do T... Oh! Can't you just do it T times 2 and it'll do it to everything? I don't know. I now have 2 small blue VTuber streams open. I want to watch it! I hope it's... Is she gonna archive it? I wanted to watch it. Shaba shaba shaba. Shaba shaba. Shaba. Wow, thank you for having me up next to Saba. Wow, that's high praise. Such is no... Okay, well, I hope. Well, people will clip it, I'm sure. Okay. If we wanted to return to its original scale, we can multiply each number by 0.5. Yeah. Or divide it by 2. Pepper Cloud. She's scared. I don't need to... It does as long as it's under 12 hours. It's auto. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think she'll be singing for 12 hours. I don't want her to. That would be too much. Sometimes she wants to, but didn't want to make promises if she thinks it went poorly. That's fair, yeah. It'd be so... I want to do a karaoke. She's like one of the people that inspired me to want to do a karaoke. Cause she always said too she was nervous to sing, and I'm like, what the heck, why? But she's way better at singing. I told you instead. Wow, thank you. I can understand though if you don't want. if you did not choose me, I understand. I had her on for a bit in the background. Yeah, she can be my background music. To calculate the object scale from an existing transformation matrix, you can use the length. Calculate the object scale. Length on each of the column vectors. I don't know that I understand what the length would be. Small cute voices sound so soothing with certain songs like the ukulele stuff. I agree. She sounds amazing with the acoustic music, background music. In actual projects, you can use the scaled method. Oh, okay. The opening act. Yeah. Wait, did I? Oh, okay. I think I read this one, right? I don't want to miss any. I feel so bad. The sound isn't working on it. But yeah, I want to do more charity stuff with my streams. I've said that before, but if you haven't heard, it means way more to me if you donate to the charity than to me. Donating to me, well, I will put it back into the streams. Like, I don't spend it on, like, my everyday life stuff. So anything you donate, either, you know, well, I don't know, maybe sometimes, because if I make most of my stream stuff myself. But it usually will go into, like, I don't know, buying a better capture card or something like that. So it's way more important if you donate to the children than to me. But I appreciate everything anyway. I like your stuff too, because it's interesting to pop in sometimes. See some recording stuff along with the small gremlin energy. I think it's fun. I'm happy. No to you. Hi, Juan. Okay. We'll start the same way as earlier. With the Godot logo underneath. Yep. 1001. What's up? As an example, say we want to rotate our Godot logo clockwise by 90 degrees. Right now the x-axis points right. Yep. And the y-axis points down. If we rotate these in our head, we would logically see that the new x-axis should point down. And then the y-axis should point left. You can imagine that you grab both the Godot logo and its vectors and spin around the center. When you finish spinning, the orientation of the vectors determines what the matrix is. We need to represent down and left in normal coordinates, so that means we'll set x to 0, 1 and y to negative 1, 0. Yes. So this swaps. Not quite. Negative 1. So down and vector to left. Oh, cool. Vector to down is 0, 1. And then vector to left is negative 1, 0. If you have trouble understanding, try this exercise. Cut off score paper. I understand. Actually went to school for game design, but never really went anywhere with it. I even bought a spot for my game on Steam. I haven't touched the project for years. I think it would be really cool if you finished it, or at least got to a point where you can call it done. Cause I think it's really important to get to a point where you can call something done, or it'll always be in the back of your head, you know? And you'll always be wondering, like, I'm gonna get to it someday. But someday, it's gonna be too late. You know? To perform rotation and code. Do not unfinish what you start. Yeah. Problem is I never really grasped coding for games. Maybe if you went into it with like a smaller scope and you were like, I want to understand how you move a character in 3D space. And maybe the character can jump. It's like, I did okay with block coding. It's why I use Playmaker for Unity. Oh yeah! That could be a good way to approach it though. Like, write down the steps. Like, what's the word? Declarative versus imperative. If you're just saying, this is the end result I want, not necessarily saying each individual step that will contribute to the end goal, then you can go back and like break it down later. So if you just say what you want to happen and document that first, you can go back through and break it down later. Okay, what steps do I need to break this down into to make this happen? You know? Programming for app and game dev is oof for my brain. It's so much math on my screen. The first thing I learned was moving a circle on the screen and collision to make walls. Yeah, I really think Godot is a good engine for learning game dev. Like, I'm not really that good at game dev or anything. I think I'm a pretty good programmer. So I don't want to act like an authority or anything. But I think it has really been a good place to start. But I also think you can commit to Godot as an engine and still make a really amazing end product, you know? I've had this idea for a dating sim where instead of the average Joe student and student, you're a staff member and you can date the teachers. That's cute! I like that idea! You should do it! I think, what's that Python? There's a Python dating sim engine that you could use for that, I think. Do you use GPT at all? I don't really. I am on a lot of fences when it comes to AI. I feel really strongly that the environmental impact is... Yeah, Renpai, thank you! The environmental impact is not acceptable to me. I also think it's hyped up beyond its usefulness. I hesitate to use it when I'm not super familiar with it. Like, I can't be sure about what to trust. If I use it at all, it's in something I already know really well, as like a glorified autocomplete. Like, I don't feel comfortable with not knowing if it's right or not. So it ends up being extra upfront effort in the end, because it's like I have to then double check what it gave me. If I was just using it to like sketch stuff out, I guess, like if it wasn't actually gonna give me anything I use as like an end product, then maybe. But again, it's like, since I have to check its validity anyway, I rather would just do the research myself. Ugh, yeah. Godot gives you a default script for character body size, player movement. Yeah. A few times I went back trying to relearn everything. I always had to relearn the collision stuff. I feel like Godot makes collisions pretty easy. Divine intelligence. GPT has a lot of issues in coding and writing, not to mention certain moral and ethical gray areas. Yeah, and to me, like, the ethical concerns make it... Just for me personally, I don't find it worth it. I don't need to kill a tree to ask a silly question that I need to validate for myself anyway. Understandable. It's not great with Godot 4. That makes sense too. AI is so complicated. The conversations about it, yeah, it's a lot. It's really stressful that people take its word for a lot of things. Like, it really makes me worried, I guess. Cause like, I know to use it responsibly, and that you can't just trust what it says. Like, you have to go and validate what it said. You can't just take anything at face value. Unless you really, like, understand what it's been trained on and, like, the sources and stuff. But even then, I don't know. Everything in the end is still made by humans. And that means that it is prone to errors. Right? How did you meet Raz? I met them through Mr. I Can Play. Yeah. Autocorrect. Always how I feel. Yeah. I've been using GPT-4o and have to fact check it constantly. And I think it'll always be like that, right? Like, you do have to fact check it. You should see the guy who does cybersecurity. They hate it. That's true too. Oh my gosh. People will just install random is it actors? What do you call there's a word for it that I can't think of right now. Not actors. That's state machines. I can't think of it. Agents? Yeah, people will just install random agents. Thank you, agents. On like our secret corporate code base. It's like, bro, no. I don't like GPT or generative AI being used to replace jobs rather than being tools to help with jobs. Yeah, me too. Kinda scares me when kids are using GPT to pass classes. Me too. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to be like the back of my day. Kids these days. Gen Alpha is ruining the brain industry. I'm trying not to be like grouchy about it. But man. Oh, let me check the donations. Thank you. Thank you so much, Josh. Wow, we did it. Oh my gosh. Josh, MVP. We got to our goal. Not the brain industry. Josh, you have single-handedly saved the brain industry. 500 Needed that goal done. You're so right. You know what? I'm also gonna donate. After the stream, I will donate too. Oh, we did it. So many names for the same thing. I think GPT explains complex stuff more easily. That's possible. But it really depends, right? Like, if it's a complex subject, and I don't know anything about it, I don't know that it's not hallucinating. So I still have to go and verify the complex thing it tried to explain, you know? Wah! Back in my day, we had that weird, scary sound when we booted into the internet. You mean this one? This whole time, we forgot to connect to the internet. Now that we finally raised enough money for the kids, let's connect to the internet! We're connecting as we speak! Wow! Thank you! Yeah! W's in the chat for the donators! It's helped me start coding. I can get some things running really quick, and it's exciting for a beginner, but there's a certain density that I just can't parse, so I'm learning by taking notes and analyzing my structures. I end up having to learn what it messes up anyways, like you're saying. Yeah, I think that's fine if you want to use it that way. I'm not judging. Just for me personally, I don't think it's gotten to the point where it's like useful enough to offset the ethical concerns that I have. It's my childhood right there, bro! Internet! Yay! Cool wins! Woohoo! I enjoyed learning about what each sound did in the dial-up sound. Yeah, that's super interesting. Have you guys ever, looked into that? If we get clear and strict regulations on its usage, that overall benefits everyone. I can retract my statement. Yeah, exactly. I think we do not have enough regulation on it right now. I don't know that it's really happening anytime soon, and that's a problem. It could ideally work. The thing is, ideas are ideas for a reason. Yeah, totally. They're already reaching the Ouroboros point. AI scraping has started scraping itself, poisoning its input. Totally agree, yeah. Understandable, for real, yeah. They're building these data centers all over the world. It's crazy, reversing all the work people have done to deal with climate change. That is such a big problem to me, yeah. That's the main one. I get it. People are just lazy. Everyone's lazy, right? It's not just certain people. Everyone wants to find the quickest path with the least amount of effort. For a lot of things, it seems like AI can do that. It's just no one's being cautious enough, I guess, is my opinion. And maybe regulations could, help restrict some of that, but yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot the VTuber Jam was happening. Yeah! It's still happening all throughout the end of the day. So, if you're a streamer and you want to contribute, please try to make time to stream. Or if you can't stream, donations are obviously amazing. Yeah, regulations seem to be getting lifted, not added. Yeah. It's rough. I learned and forgot it all in one night. It happened. Yeah, maybe some other time we can look at what the dial-up sound does again. Thank you guys so much. We are probably gonna have to end it soon here. Let's find somebody to raid. But we did it. That's all that matters. We got our goal. Let's see if we can find someone else doing the Summer Slam. Boop. Nintendo's already suing Midjourney. You know what? I am not surprised. And I heard of that for Disney too, right? Like, yeah, that's valid. See if we can find somebody with the SummerSlam tag. VTuber SummerSlam 25. Is that what it is? Maybe this one. Oh yeah, I see people. Okay, let's see if we can find somebody doing. It's gonna be hard to find someone doing the exact same thing as me, so maybe just vibing. It's okay if they're vibing. Let's see what's happening. Do you guys have anybody you know that? Sorry, the convo drifted into a loaded topic. That's totally okay. We can always talk about, real issues. I would like to make an impact, with my streams. I would like to be able to make a difference. So, if that means we have to talk about controversial things, we can do that. But, yeah, especially related to tech stuff. Let's go raid. Maybe this person. Yeah, maybe this person. They're doing some art stuff. Looks cute. You enjoy these streams? I'm glad. I'm gonna try to do more programming stuff. It's just like, well, earlier today I had the start of a migraine. I'm glad I got rid of that. I suppose like nerd in here. Hey! Let's go raid them. They're doing some arts stuffs. And they are also doing a campaign for the VTuber SummerSlam. So we can say hello to them. Thank you guys so much. We did it. Amazing. And, yeah, it's a little tough when it's like, I can only stream on Sunday. I tried to make time, for other days. It usually doesn't happen, but, am I joining at the end? Yeah, I'm sorry, Chubatsu. It's okay. We are here every Sunday. Yeah, maybe we can. Oh, you got an ad. I tried to make the ads kind of short too, so I said sorry to Y for coming. There we go. Every Sunday Eastern time. Yeah. The raid's about to start. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I'll see you next time, and look out for the clips throughout the week. Peace.